Politicus News with Sarah Jones, and here's what's happening. Trump encourages violence was trending on Monday after David Leonhardt wrote in the New York Times, "The man with the world's largest bully pulpit keeps encouraging violence and white nationalism. Lo and behold, white nationalist violence is on the rise. You have to work pretty hard to persuade yourself that that is just a big coincidence." We are told by the self-proclaimed arbiters of morality in the media that we can't blame Trump for these increasing random acts of mass violence that are inspired by his rhetoric, from the Pittsburgh Tree of Life synagogue shooter being incited by Trump's caravan rants into falling for the conspiracy that George Soros was funding the caravan. This was pushed on Lou Dobbs' Fox News show, to a right-wing extremist terrorist in Christchurch massacring worshiping Muslims, praising Trump in his manifesto, calling Trump a symbol of renewed white identity and common purpose. Trump himself dismissed being named, saying, "I think it's a very small group of people that have a very, very serious problem." That is true, but it only takes a small group of people to become radicalized by hate to cause mass violence. We have already been living through that, so this is an established fact. Trump knows how to play his supporters' fears of demographic change, and like any good con artist or authoritarian leader, he knows how to keep power by keeping his supporters believing that their fellow Americans and those seeking asylum in our country are coming for them. They want what they have. They're criminals and bad people who deserve violence. Trump dehumanizes his enemies, which is a signal to his most unstable supporters to take violent action against that enemy. This is known as Caustic Terrorism, which I've been writing about for years since Sarah Palin put crosshairs on Democratic districts, including Gabby Giffords, who was shortly thereafter shot during a public event. The dictionary definition of stochastic terrorism is the public demonization of a person or group, resulting in the incitement of a violent act which is statistically probable, but whose specifics can't be predicted. The lone wolf attack was apparently influenced by the rhetoric of stochastic terrorism. Stochastic terrorism operates in plain sight, but it avoids accountability because we blame the person who actually pulled the trigger, not the person who repeatedly demonized a group of people and signaled that violence was the only solution. Last week, as we discussed here, Trump urged his armed supporters to get violent. In an exclusive interview he conducted in the Oval Office with the hate rag known as Breitbart, he claimed that the police and military were on his side like the bikers for Trump. 2 minutes after Trump condemned the New Zealand shootings, he used the exact same language during a veto, tying his political agenda to hate speech. He said people hate the word invasion, but that's what it is. It's an invasion of drugs and criminals and people. David Leonhardt reminded us that Trump has talked about, quote, Second Amendment people, preventing the appointment of liberal judges. He's encouraged police officers to bang suspects' head against the car roofs. He has suggested that his supporters knock the hell out of hecklers. At a rally shortly before the 2018 election, he went on a riff about bikers for Trump and the military. That similar riff was, "You see these little arms, Trump shouted, referring to his protesters. Where are the bikers for Trump? Where are the police? Where are the military? Where are ICE? Where are the Border Patrol? No, we've taken a lot. We've taken a lot." On March 11th of 2016, Trump said that to his audience swung back, and it was very, very appropriate. The audience hit back, and that's what we need more of. Trump tweeted a video of himself body slamming the CNN logo in 2017, but as one example of his relentless attacks against the network, and later, a Trump cultist mailed a pipe bomb to CNN headquarters, as well as Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Maxine Waters, Eric Holder, and George Soros. As Jason Easley pointed out in PoliticusUSA, Trump doesn't want Democrats feeling safe going to the polls. He lost the popular vote by 3 million votes to Hillary Clinton. The president has seen his standing plummet in the 3 Rust Belt states that he won by a combined 77,000 votes in 2016. With Democratic governors in place in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, Republican efforts to suppress the votes will fail. It is true that Trump didn't shoot anyone, but he has never done his own dirty work. Michael Cohen can and has testified to that fact, saying that Trump operates like a mob boss. He doesn't come out and tell you what to do, but you know what to do based on what he's complaining about. The question at this point is, if Trump isn't deliberately inciting violence, why won't he stop now that he's seen the results? Why didn't he stop after Pittsburgh? Trump is encouraging people to be afraid of his government, like any wannabe totalitarian dictator, as at the same time he is using the levers of government to punish the press that he doesn't like. Trump uses hate language for political purposes. He points his fingers at groups of people he considers enemies, and then inevitably, one of his supporters takes action. Rinse, repeat. This is called terrorism, even though he isn't pulling the trigger. Join me on Friday morning for the next episode of the 100% people-driven Politicus News with Sarah Jones. You can find our episodes on PoliticusUSA at the top of the page. To get alerts of new videos, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and subscribe to our newsletter. We are independent, and the facts are real.